up, world? It's Jump Scare June coming to you live with the energy, not the broadcast. And as you can see, I got another ranking video. I really enjoyed the last one I did. And as you can see, this time around, I'm doing scary movies once again. But last time I did the top scary movies from the year 2000 all the way to 2020. This time I'm doing greatest scary movies of all time. Now this list took me a minute to put together because I had to narrow it down to 20. Now I'm doing best from iconic all the way down to what the fuck was that. So it's iconic, nightmare, scary, and entertaining, drop the ball, and what the fuck. So before I get started on this movie, go ahead and click that mother effing like button, and then don't forget to ring that notification bell because it's right next door to it, so you guys will be alerted every time I drop new content. So starting with the first video, going straight in, we got Friday the 13th. The original Friday the 13th. Now, as of right now, I am playing the Friday the 13th game, and I'm really enjoying that, reminiscing, and it's actually making me want to go back, jump back, and watch some of the original films. So with this one, you already know where the fuck this going. This one is going straight to iconic. Enough said, self-explanatory, you already know. Even though Friday the 13th was never scary, at least to me, it wasn't scary. It's freaking Jason. Like, you can't, like, he is the ultimate slasher. It's debatable between him and Michael Myers, but to me, Jason is the ultimate. Like, you can't go past him. Up next, we got his rival, one of his biggest rivals at that time, Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, me personally, growing up in my neighborhood, we always called it Freddy Krueger movies. So, saying Nightmare on Elm Street, sometimes I actually confuse the two. Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, blase blase. But we gotta go. You already know we're gonna put him right next door to Jason. So, Freddy, you right up there with your boy. Now, I'll tell you this real quick. With Jason, I've never had a nightmare about Jason ever in my life. But Freddy Krueger, I had this reoccurring nightmare where I would know I was in a dream and I would have complete control of the dream, but I just couldn't get away from Freddy. It would be moments where I remember one time I was out in space. Freddy Krueger was chasing me out in space. Don't ask me why the fuck I was out in space. I was just out there. And then I closed my eyes and I was holding myself and I was like, it's just a dream. It's just a dream. Disappear, disappear, disappear. Open my eyes. I'm on a beach. Chilling on the beach. Laid back. Getting the sun. Hearing the waves. Next thing you know, Freddy Krueger claw. Pop out the sand. Start coming at me like a shark fin. And then I close my eyes and it's just a dream. It's just a dream. Disappear, disappear. Boom. Going to another section. Freddy just there. I had that reoccurring dream for a very long time. I forgot how old I was. I think I was a kid going into my teenage years, not sure. But I couldn't get away from it. But anyway, next up, we got Annabelle. So I got Annabelle Creations because that's one of my favorite Annabelles out of all. I kind of like Annabelle Comes Home, but Annabelle Creations was my favorite one. I think it was the second one. But the whole Annabelle saga, whatever you want to call it, I just love it. It kind of makes me feel like when I was a kid and I first started watching Chucky, and then Chucky became this huge iconic figure. I feel like Annabelle could be what Chucky was to me. Like, Annabelle can be for a 10-year-old what Chucky was to me when I was 10. So I want to put Annabelle in the iconic category, but give it like 2 more years. Well, 10 more years actually. Give it like 10 more years. Right now I'm gonna say Annabelle is definitely a nightmare maker. Definitely. Up next, we got the original Blair Witch Project. Now, they dropped another one like 2 or 3 years ago, and I put it in my last video, and I think if I can remember correctly, I think I put it as like at the very bottom. I gotta do the same thing with this one, but I'm not gonna put it at the very bottom as what the fuck. I'm gonna put it at drop the ball. I remember when the Blair Witch Project was advertised, so many people thought it was going to be a good movie. There's actually people that really enjoyed the movie as well. And I think it was one of the originators of the home footage movie. At that time, it became very popular. I think after Blair Witch Paranormal Activity dropped. And then there was a couple of other movies that had that same like VHS setup. But the Blair Witch Project just didn't do it for me at all. So I'm going to say they dropped the ball because it definitely could have been a little bit better. And I want to say with Blair Witch Project, it was more, I seen more spoofs to the Blair Witch Project than seeing like the actual movie. And another thing about the Blair Witch Project, I remember after it dropped, a lot of people, it was like this huge debate of whether it was real or not. Like, that was a huge debate. And to this day, I want to say it's been debunked. None of it never happened, even though they said some of it was based on the true story. But at that time, like, we gotta think about the time we was living in. At that time, like, a lot of people thought the Blair Witch Project was actual, like, footage of some shit that went down. But keep it rolling. We got The Conjuring. So, I'll be honest, I think The Conjuring came out a couple years ago, but I'm just now getting into that whole series. The Annabelle is part of the Conjuring universe. I've only seen the last 2 Conjurings, I believe. Never seen the original Conjuring, but I've seen all the other spun-offs like Annabelle and The Nun and whatsoever. I love it, and it is definitely not iconic, but it is definitely a nightmare maker to this day. If I start thinking too hard about certain scenes, I will probably have a nightmare, or I would get afraid, and yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. I'll just get afraid, okay? Keeping it rolling again, Drag Me to Hell. So for this movie, I'm gonna go and say it before I even place it there. I want to put this junk at iconic. This is the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life. I cannot watch this movie. So real quick, in my last video, I also had Drag Me to Hell in the top 20 because I told the story in my last video. Like, I had it on DVD. That was my first time ever seeing it. Never saw it in theaters. Had it on DVD. I watched the DVD one time. Cannot do it again. One time. I kept the DVD because I had a massive DVD collection at the time. I even like touching the DVD gave me chills. I could not see the cover. I always had to flip it on its back. That movie scares the shit out of me, so you already know if it's not iconic, unfortunately, it's got to go with Nightmare Maker to this day. If I watch it right now, I am going to be fucked up for at least 6 months. So I got to stay away from that. Next, we got the most famous, next to, like, to me, the most famous killer of all time, and that's Charles Lee Ray, aka Chucky. My God, like, Chucky is my dude 100%. So I'm gonna go and put him on with the icons: Jason, Freddy, Chucky. Gotta put him with the icons. But I just want to say, just Chucky, just to me was like my childhood. Like, I love Chucky so much. And as I got older, some of the scenes became more hilarious than scary, but just the movie was just great all the way around. Now, the remake was straight trash, dumpster fire. But the original Child's Play 2, and my favorite Child's Play 3, when he had like the little black boy, like, I love them all. Now, when they went off and they started doing the Seed of Chucky, Bride of Chucky, all that crap, and the Curse of Chucky, the Code of Chucky, like, they missed me with that. Like, Bride of Chucky was cool, but the Seed of Chucky, the Curse of Chucky, the Code of Chucky, like, all of that was trash. But the original Child's Play movies they were dope. Up next, we got not one of my favorites, but a lot of personal people's favorites. Halloween, Michael Myers. Go on through them with the icons, because that's one of the main reasons why I'm even talking about them. I didn't like Michael Myers at all. Now, later on down the line, Rob Zombie put out a remake of Halloween, which I absolutely love. But I actually dislike all Halloween films. There was one that came out a few years ago, which it's like another remake. They keep remaking it. Jamie Lee Curtis was like, oh, this dirt. She was a dinosaur. I have not yet seen that one, but I think I might like it if I actually sit down and watch it. But Rob Zombie's version of it was definitely my favorite. He deserves an iconic spot because he's a freaking icon. Like, but we gonna keep it rolling. So, let me take my time with this next one. So, I don't know if y'all see this little skeleton with the gold tooth in the cut. So, for my suburban viewers, there was this movie called Tales from the Hood. They had a bunch of mini horror stories in it. When I tell you, if you live in the suburbs and you never experience like hood life or hood mentality, but you like listening to hip hop music and you're curious about it and you want to be scared at the same time, go watch Tales from the Hood. This movie to this date, like Dante Wilder, to this date will make me shit my pants. I don't want to reveal too much of it. I can say spoiler alert, so y'all can just skip past this if you haven't seen Tales from the Hood. But the politician with the slave dolls is like classic. And then the kid with the abusive like stepfather or mother's boyfriend, classic. I want so bad to put this thing in. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna put it with the icons. It's an icon in my life. That movie, like, this ain't no motherfucking funeral home. Welcome to hell, motherfuckers. Doom, doom, doom. Hey, hey, hey. Doom, doom, doom. Hey, hey. Doom, doom, doom. Hey, hey, hey. Bro, you got to check it out. Like, you can see how excited I'm getting. The movie is a classic. They tried to do a Tales of the Hood 2 on Netflix. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. It's gonna ruin it. Don't watch it. It's gonna ruin the whole shit for you. Go back. Find the original one somewhere. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix or not, or Xfinity On Demand or Hulu. I don't know. Find that junk. Watch it if you have not seen it. Classic. So, keeping it rolling. We got It, the remake of It that came out a few years ago. I love it. I am going to put it as a nightmare maker, not iconic. But in a few seconds to minutes, you'll see why I'm not putting it as an iconic section. I'm not going to say much about the It remake. I feel like they did a fantastic job remaking it. They definitely increased the scare factor in it. And the story was well put together. And the cast was awesome. Like, I love the cast. And I love in It Chapter 2 when they come back as adults. They even did incredible casting then with It Chapter 2. So everybody just who does that is just dope as hell. I love it. And I hope that they come out with a third one somewhere. I don't know. I didn't follow it in the beginning when they made it back in the 70s or the 80s I believe. So I'm not sure if they did like a third part, but I knew there were 2 parts. If there is a third part, I hope they remake that as well and keep it going, because I am a big fan of It, even though he scares me and he scares the living daylights out of my brother, but I'm a big fan. So, how about choking on my damn spit? Up next, we got Poltergeist. So, unfortunately, I will tell you this. So, all the movies I've ranked so far, I've watched them all. Poltergeist, I watched it, but at the same time, I'm gonna say it's kind of hard because I want to put it as an icon. Poltergeist was definitely an iconic film, and a lot of these movies, some of the movies on my list that I haven't gotten to, I haven't seen, but I respect them as being iconic. Poltergeist, I respect it as being an iconic film, but at the same time, I want to say scary, but scary and entertaining. I gotta go scary and entertaining, because it wasn't a what the f, and it wasn't that iconic to me. It had a mixture, like, it had like maybe 1 or 2 scenes that probably made you jump, but at the same time, the movie wasn't like, didn't have like a lot of scare factor in it. So, the original It. So, unfortunately, I'm going, you know what? Unfortunately, yeah, I'm going to say this. I want to say unfortunately, I'm going to put the original It in the iconic category, because I put the previous It in the Nightmare Maker, and I was like, you know, in a couple seconds you'll see why, because I was gonna put the original It in the iconic section because it's kind of iconic. But I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm gonna say how I really feel about it, like I've been saying so far. The original It is a what the fuck was that? A what the fuck was that? Because the original It was straight trash, straight garbage, dumpster fire. I did not like it at all. There was nothing about it. The clown was poorly put together. Like, he wasn't scary. The story was boring. It was too much dialogue. He was annoying. It was, I guess, because they didn't have all the cinematic technology that they have now for the new It. Yeah, so I'm sorry, you just made the what the F section. I really thought I was gonna put him in the iconic section at first, but I guess not. So the next one might stir some feelings, but I gotta keep it real and keep it 100 with y'all. Candyman. Candyman just didn't do it for me. The odd thing about Candyman is, I've said it 3 times, so I'm just saying C-Man now. So the odd thing about C-Man is, I am terrified to say his name 5 times in the mirror. Terrified. But at the same time, his movies are all trash to me. All trash. Like, I don't like it at all. His character, I think he was the actor. Maybe it's, I hate to do it to my brother, but maybe it was the actor. So with him, with Candyman, C-Man, sorry. So I can't say it no more. That's 4 times. I'm gonna say drop the ball, because it definitely could have been a lot scarier, and they dropped the ball on it. So, and I only said his name 4 times. I said C-Man once, so I'm good. Keeping it going, we got The Exorcism. So, The Exorcism is a movie that I have seen a lot of clips, but I've never watched all the way through. Now, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, I watched all the way through, terrified the shit out of me. I won't watch it again. It was definitely not a nightmare maker, but it was very creepy and eerie, and left me with a creepy, eerie feeling for a couple of months. So with this one, I'm gonna say iconic. I was gonna go Nightmare Maker, but even though I haven't seen this movie, the fact that I've seen hundreds of spoofs about it, and the fact that I've seen multiple clips on just everybody sharing it, it was a huge phenomenon. It's gotta be iconic, even though I've never seen it. So, up next, man, I hate this shit with a passion. I'm gonna go ahead and say, what the F was that? Saw. I don't even care. I don't even want to really just talk about it. I'm kind of upset with myself that I put it in the 20 movies that I would be deciding, ranking. But I had to find something that I dislike. And Saw was one of them. I hate every last Saw. And another mention to another movie that I hate, Hostel, which was Saw, a revamped version of Saw. And it's another movie called Sinister. I don't know why I put it in the Saw category. I guess because I just hate movies that's not scary and just gory. I hate those so much. Keeping it going though. So, Scream is next. Now, Scream is a good one to talk about because Scream is definitely an iconic film. And my issue with Scream, or just my issue with the debate about Scream, is when you talk about ultimate slashers and horrors, you talk about Freddy, Jason, Chucky, Michael Myers. When you see like artwork of people like designing stuff, they always put them, and they forget to leave the Scream guy out, and they forget to leave quick honorable mention, the guy from I Know What You Did Last Summer. They leave those 2 guys out. So I can understand you leaving the guy from I Know What You Did Last Summer out, but the guy from Scream, to me, I don't care what nobody say, he was an iconic, he still is an iconic person. And how I know he's an icon, number 1, you see spoofs. Number 2, almost every Halloween somewhere in America, somewhere probably in the world actually, America and the world, you're gonna see somebody dressed up as 3 people: Jason, Michael Myers mask, and a Scream mask. They have all these different variations of the Scream mask with his tongue hanging out and he's under the influence. Like, Scream, I wish he had a name. I don't want to say Scream guy. Scream, I'm gonna Google if he has a name. So Scream, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, top 3 masks every Halloween. The guy is iconic. I'm gonna give him your love. If don't nobody ever say you great, I'm gonna say you great, my guy. Next up, we got a movie that nobody talks about. 0 people talk about. I've never had a conversation with anybody outside of my brother, with anybody about this movie. And the last time I had a conversation with my brother about this movie is when the movie, not when it released because I was a kid, it was like 1984. But when me and my brother watched it as a kid, Return of the Living Dead. So you got Shaun of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Evil Dead. Like, Return of the Living Dead was gory. I know I just gory, but it was gory, a little bit of comical. It but it scared me as a kid. That's why I'm gonna put it as a nightmare maker. Oh, wait. I'm gonna say scary and entertaining. Because like I said, it's funny now. When I was a kid, scared shit out of me. The zombies were, if not, I think the zombies in Return of the Living Dead 1 and 2 is the scariest zombies I've ever seen in my life. So I don't know who did the makeup and stuff for the zombies, but they did an excellent job for it to be a 1980s film. An excellent job. Up next, we have The Ring, which is an iconic movie, but I am not going to put it in the iconic section. I'll tell you that just to start off. And also, little known fact about The Ring. The Ring is actually a remake. The original Ring is a remake. In Japan or China, I believe it was Japan, they had a movie called Ringa or Ringu or something like that. I want to say it was called like Ringu or something like that. The exact same movie. It's just the US caught fire of how popular it was over there, which over there I think it's like one of their #1 movies of all time. Like over in America, we talk about The Exorcism amongst other movies as like the #1 horror films of all time. Like over there, it's like the Ringu. I think that's how you pronounce it. So that's actually a remake. It's definitely an iconic movie. If you guys haven't seen it, Killer Videotape. You watch it and then you die after you watch it. I think it's a stupid concept. Like, I feel like if it didn't catch fire over in Japan and I was like a writer or a director and I was pitching a movie and I was saying, I got it. We're going to make a Killer Videotape. And if you watch it, you're going to get a phone call and you're going to die. It just sounds stupid, right? Like, but I am going to say scary and entertain. Or do I want to say drop the ball? Because it wasn't scary, was it? Was it, people? We're going to go with drop the ball. They could have did more. But the fact of the matter is it was a remake, so I don't know. Down to the last two out of 20. We got Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, Leatherface. Once again, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. I like calling him Charles Lee Ray because I'm a big fan. Charles Lee Ray, Michael Myers, and the Screen Guy, because I want to put the Screen Guy in it. You also got Leatherface. So all of the other killers at some point have used a knife in their killings. Leatherface, to my knowledge, and you guys can check me if y'all want to. Y'all can fact check me if y'all want to. I don't think I've ever seen him use a knife. To me, he's not a slasher, even though some people want to put him in the slashing category. To me, he's not a slasher. And to me, I'm going to disrespect him and say he's not even iconic. Gosh. See, I drop my head because I know I'm wrong. I'm going to go and put the man in iconic, man. Dang, bro. Dang, man. I ain't want to put him in iconic because I don't like him. But I got to keep it real, man. I got to show love when I know it's love. Like, I got to show love. Everybody know Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's just, I guess in my world, it wasn't talked about, but the fact of the matter is, out of pretty much all these movies, this is one of the few movies that was actually based on a true story, actual events. So I gotta go and put the man in the iconic category. Last but not least, down to the final movie, we got The Shining. Now, I know y'all finna get on my ass for this, but I've never seen The Shining at all. Period. One of those movies where I've seen a couple of clips from, and it seems scary. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it all the way in the iconic. Why would I put a movie that I've never seen in the iconic category? Because I feel like The Shining gave birth to one of the scariest things you could ever put in a movie. And I think this one thing scares everybody. Black, white, Asian, no matter where you from. If you see this, you automatically get scared. And that is a little white girl in a hallway. Scariest things you can ever, a little white girl, and she calm, in a hallway. The fact that they put two little white girls in the hallway, classic. And I feel like that movie gave birth to little white girls being scary. Like, you know, just gave birth to it. Next to like killer dolls, I think little white girls are the scariest. So that is it for the end of this video, and I can't think of another ranking. Well, let me take that back off top. So I've done ranking for the scary movies from 2000 to 2020. I've now completed the scary movies best of all time. If I have left any movies out that you guys think that is way scarier or way worse than some of the shit that I put on this list, just drop it in the comments. Let me know. Let's get the discussion going. Let's get the debate going, because I really love talking about scary movies, and I really would like to hear what you guys got to say about this. So don't forget to hit the like button as well. After this, since I've did the scary movies of the past 2 decades, best of all time, I think I'm gonna go with the scariest video games of all time next. So be on the lookout for that coming within the next week or so. And until then, really, last time I told y'all I love y'all, that might be a little trend I might keep going, man. I used to say I'm out, deuces, but I'm kind of liking the, you know, I love y'all. I feel like it make me connect with y'all better. Plus, you know, this shit real right now. You know, it's April 14th, 2020. So y'all already know what we going through. I really don't want to say what we're going through, because I'm not sure if YouTube will flag it or not when you talk about the subject. I see other YouTubers talk about it, but I don't really want to talk about it. But we all know what we're going through at this time. So I just want to say, you know, everybody keep their head up. If you're looking for something to do, hey, you got my channel. If you want me to pump out more videos on a weekly basis, let me know, and I'm gonna get some, you know, I'm gonna try to keep the content flowing as much as I can. I think this week I'm getting a lot of more content out than I normally have recently, so be on the lookout for at least 2 to 3 more videos. But until next time, y'all, I just gotta say I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please. On my road to 100, trying to do something big with this YouTube channel. And like I said, don't forget to hit that notification bell too, right next door to the subscribe button. And let's keep it going. All right, I'm out. Love y'all.